art lesson is inspired by a British artist named Fiona Rae. And we'll be doing an oil pastel abstract drawing. It's going to look a little bit like this. And her work looks like this. So hers are actually paintings. Ours are drawings, but these are paintings. And these are a few of her paintings right here. And I'm gonna tell you about the supplies so you can gather those up, and then we'll get into it and we'll give you a little bit more about the artist. So today's supplies, what you're going to need is a sheet of white paper, cardstock, or what we prefer to use is the watercolor paper. You're also going to need some masking tape. If you have some, it'd be great. The masking tape is going to mask a little white edge around it so it looks really clean. It looks kind of like a fake frame. And the blue tape is the less tacky one, so it comes off really easy. Or if you have tan masking tape, that'll work too. Just pull it really slow. And your last alternative would be just Scotch tape. But you gotta pull that off even slower because it's stickier. And then we need our oil pastels. So if you have a set of these, that would be great. A lot of art kits come with some oil pastels, and they're kind of like oily crayons. You know, they smear a lot easier, but we're gonna be doing some smearing, so oil pastels. And we need some paper towels. And lastly, do you wanna tell them about these things?
We need, so for your circles that you're gonna be making, you're gonna need some caps of different sizes or lids.
You want to look for those in your kitchen, and all different sizes are the best.
And we have a plastic plate here for our biggest circle. Then also pot and pan lids of different sizes. But if you don't have all of these things, that's okay. Just work with what you have.
Yes. So now that you see everything that we need to get started, I'm gonna move these out of the way so that you can, so we can have a little space.
And we'll give you a little time for you to gather up your supplies too.
Be sure to pause the video here and gather your supplies if you haven't already. Then unpause when you're ready to begin.
Now Lily already has her paper pre-taped like this. I'm gonna show you guys how to tape a paper. So take this tape, and it's 1-inch tape, usually masking tape, and you're gonna line up the tape with the edge of the paper by pulling a lot of tape, going to the corner, pressing it down, and then rubbing it out. Then you hold the corner really tight and you rip it. I always say whip it to rip it. And then you can get a really clean cut. I'll do that again. I'm gonna do that on this side.
And also, if any excess tape
is on the edge like this, don't wrap it around the edge because it's super hard to get off later.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is just tear that along the edge. And then we've got 2 more sides to go while you gather up your circular lids and pots and pan lids, plastic or paper plates to trace different, to use as a stencil essentially for your circular shapes. Okay, so I've got this, Lily's got that, and let's go ahead and move that into here. Okay, we've got our pastels. I don't need my tape anymore. Hopefully you've gotten everything. So now Fiona Rae's compositions are made up of these circles, but there's also these smears all over the place. Now hers are made with paint, but we're gonna simulate this idea with oil pastels because I know a lot of people have oil pastels at home. And hers was purely abstract, and what she was known for is her style and what they would call her juxtaposition of hard edge geometric shapes along with more raw organic splatters and smears of paint right along with them. So if you don't know that big word juxtaposition, it's basically putting 2 things near each other that are very different, juxtaposing them. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to pick the biggest shapes first. So I'm gonna start with a pan lid. What do you want to start with?
I'll do the little plastic.
Now I can put this right in the middle, or I can have this coming into my image where I only see part of it. So I'm gonna have mine coming into it.
I'm gonna do mine right here. Like kind of, sort of coming in from the side and coming in from the top.
Okay, and before we get totally started, let me tell you two things. One is that I'm not going to be able to do it standing up because I got to press down on something really hard. So I'm just going to be doing it tabletop today, but I'm pretty sure you guys can see what I'm doing. And also,
you can pause this video anytime if we're going too fast for you.
Or if you want to take more time.
Yes, or if you want to take more time to get your supplies, to use the restroom, all that other stuff.
Yeah, so anyway, back to grabbing our biggest shape. So I'm grabbing a big shape, now I'm picking a color. I'm gonna pick dark green. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it straight up instead of at an angle. And then I'm gonna go all the way around it like this as I'm pressing down on the thing that I'm using as my circle
So grab
stencil.
any color?
Any color. But now on watercolor paper, you have like a texture, like a bumpy surface. So if I want to get it where it doesn't have white bumps coming through, I'm gonna give it a second coat. And if I want to, again, I can do a third coat because every time I go around, it makes the oil pastel thicker. So this one, I'm going all the way around like that and that. Then when I'm done, I get this bright green edge of a circle.
So my oil pastel, as you might see while she was talking,
Yeah.
it was kind of dirty, so I wanted it to be kind of clean.
Yes.
Have the color
A pure color.
Like pop out. So I just wiped it on my napkin by twirling it.
Cool. Okay, so give that a circle. Hopefully you guys have found some really cool circular shapes of items in your house. I'm just pushing out my oil pastels because sometimes they get way into the paper.
And it's okay if you draw on your paper. On your tape.
Yeah, because we're going to peel that off afterwards at the very end.
And it won't show.
Yeah, so you want to go all the way to the edge, all the way to that tape. Okay, and if you're giving it a second coat, make sure you use your little, whatever you're stenciling with. Now, if you have a shape like this plate where you can get under it, and I did this pan, if you can flip it over and have it touching the bottom, it'll be easier to use. Okay, so it looks good. Now, I want you to find a shape smaller than your first shape to put inside of it. So you're picking that. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. I'm picking this one. So I put it right there where I'm gonna have even space around it. I'm not gonna put it way over here because I'm gonna have a closer and bigger space here. So I need to pull it in so it's right in the center of that last space and pick a color. I'm gonna pick.
Mine's a little weird.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring yours way out here.
It has a corner, then a corner here.
That's right there. You gotta go right there because this space needs to match this space and this space.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's how you can tell if you just go.
Yep. And you do it with a different color each time.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna do orange here, and I'm gonna do it like 2 or 3 times. Oh, cool. So now I see that I've got, 2 colors like that. Looking good. Now remember, hold that, whatever you're using to stencil with, hold it still. Because if you don't, it'll be like you're doing that circle and then all of a sudden, and then it goes crazy. You gotta hold it still. Or if you have anybody around who wants to team up with you, have them hold it as you trace around it. And then just go really hard and double it up if you need to. Woo! That's okay, because if you get areas like that, you can always color in between. So now I have this. I can either do another one, and actually, let me go ahead of you and show you this. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more shape like this, put it right in here, and I'm gonna go blue like this. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill it in between orange and blue. Like this. And that's how I get a wider circle band. Okay, so go for it, Lily. Pick another color.
So my oil pastel got on the...
Oh, that's okay. We'll clean all these lids up afterwards. Wah! There went my example. So now I want to get rid of all these white bumpy marks. So what I'm doing is I'm giving it a second coat. You're gonna do the best you can. You can also scratch off color with your fingernail. If you go over a color like this, I can scratch this off. So I got a little blue in my orange. I just take my fingernail, I scratch it off. Like that.
Or you can just leave it and
It'll
become
just be a
like
look,
one
yeah.
of your
Streaks.
smudges.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna do the same thing as Cheryl.
Okay, great. So now I'm going around my circle. So maybe you can see the difference between where I made it solid blue and where it has little white specks coming through still. So you decide if you like the little white paper specks coming through, or if you would rather make it really solid, you just give it another coating of that color of oil pastel. I'm gonna have some really solid areas. Alrighty. So after you've done this, now you can go ahead and pick a whole other area to do another circle. So she's got a ton of circles in hers, and there's like small and big ones. These paintings like this in real life, these are like, you know, like probably 8-foot tall paintings. These are taller than a person. So then these circles would be really big in those. Ours is just a smaller piece of paper, but we can get the same really cool abstract effect. So now I'm gonna go with this size being my big circle, and I'm gonna put that over here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the complete circle. And I'm gonna use black on this one. I'm gonna go around it twice to make it really dark. And remember, we can clean off all these things in the end. So I've got a black circle. Now, I'm gonna take this small one. This was actually a Pringles lid. Put that right in here. And I'm going to get, oh, let's go with purple. Here's a broken purple. Okay, got a purple. Okay. And now I've got purple right there. And I'm gonna do one more color. I'm gonna fill it in, actually. I'm gonna fill it in with orange.
And also, if you get these little crumbs of oil pastel like I'm getting right now, you can... Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I just pick them off, or they're gonna be great when I do my smudging, because they're gonna smudge in.
So I'll just keep up there.
Okay, so before we go any further, get 2 circles in, and then we're gonna do a smudge area. Okay, so I've got this nice and solid. Okay, so I've got this. You can do that one and have that on the inside. Okay. Don't worry if you're using a stencil that already has some oil pastel stuck to the outside, because it's not going to end up on your paper. Okay. And then, as soon as Lily gets this one done, I'm going to show you guys how to do a smudge area. Because we're going to have some smudges go under things and some smudges go over things. So we're going to do some under smudges next. Because we're building up our whole composition. And this is the stuff that's underneath. Okay. And that one. Too bad we don't have a circle that's in between, huh? Oh well, we can just color it in, the space between.
Oh shoot.
That's okay, do it. Or do you want to do black? Because black will cover blue. Do you want to do black?
No, I'll do a blue.
Okay, blue. Okay.
And then maybe I'll have a color in between.
Okay. So while Lily's doing this, let me tell you a little bit about Fiona Rae. So she is British, and she lives in England and has her studio in England. And she is part of the group that they called the YBAs, the Young British Artists is what that acronym is. And in the 90s, they all graduated from art school, and some of them ended up being really famous. And they were all students together, and they had shows together. And one of those was the famous artist Damien Hirst, who is probably one of the most famous contemporary artists, and maybe even one of the richest and wealthiest, because he sold so much art for so much money. And have you ever heard of him, Elaine? Damien Hirst?
I'm not sure, but I think I know one thing.
Okay, what piece of art do you know?
He did do this one thing in the Palms with a Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, this is where he's had a lot of art shows, some with paintings and some with objects. So he would do shows with objects, and one of them was a shark in a tank, but it was preserved in a tank.
And it was cut up.
And it was cut up into pieces, as gruesome as that is. So if you want to see what that is, you can always look that one up. Anyways, so the people that she went to school with, her and along with a lot of them, Gary Hume, Ian Davenport, some others, they became very successful young artists. And she was the one doing the most abstract art. Alrighty, so Lily's got that, coloring that in. So now, for the next thing, I want you to pick 3 colors. So I'm gonna pick blue, green, and white.
I'm gonna do this
No, maybe
green,
not white.
yellow.
I'm gonna do brown.
I'm gonna do this green, yellow, and red.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find somewhere on my drawing to make a scribble with these 3 colors. You can either take all 3, tap them down like this, and just kind of scribble them together like that, or you can just scribble them individually. So this is the mark I got. I just got this scribble mark right there. Then we're gonna smear that scribble mark. So pick your 3 colors, scribble an area. It can be, let's start off to the side. That's the easy way. And then I'll show you the next step. So the next step, after you've scribbled on your paper, is that you're gonna get a paper towel. You probably have the rolled paper towels. I have a lot of folded ones too. So I'm gonna fold mine in half, and then I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it like this till I have a whole bunch of rolled paper. Or actually, I'm gonna roll it with the open ends on the inside, because I don't have so many things sticking out. So now I rolled it like this. So it's a roll of paper, of soft paper. Then I'm gonna use this as a blending stick. If you happen to have an art kit or a lot of art supplies, most likely you have a blending stick. But I know a lot of you at home don't have those specialty tools, art tools. So then you're gonna make your own blending stick. So it's a rolled up paper towel, and then I'm gonna take this, and let me just make sure that you can see from where I'm at. And I'm going to go over to this spot that I scribbled in, and I'm gonna rub and smear it. Rub and smear it. So I'm pushing with a lot of energy and power. I'm going like this, and I'm making a streak. It looks kind of like motion marks, like when you see something swoosh by. So we're making some motion marks. And if I want to add a little more to it, I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add some yellow to it. And now I'm going to rub that in. Oh, my thing came unrolled. So I'm going to tighten it up. You can also take the roll and bend it in half like this and use it this way if that's easier to hold. So now I have a smudge, a smear just like that. So I can get a blendy spot. So give me like 2 of those all over your paper. Or one other one on another area of your paper. So the next one I'm gonna do is gonna be purple and red.
And it can overlap,
it can overlap,
other
yeah.
circles.
So I'm gonna do one here where it's purple and red and maybe, too bad we don't have pink. We've got peach. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with that little blob right there. I'm gonna smear it, and it's gonna go right through the black. Ooh, then the black got a smear. So this is cool. This is sort of a process art. It's fun just making smears. Alrighty. So now I got this smear. The darker colors show up more when you smear it. Oh, I think that's so cool looking. Let me get it a little more over here. Okay. So we've got a few more smears. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a few more circles. Oh, woo! But I'm gonna, if I bump into another circle, I'm gonna stop when I hit it and continue when I pass it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm gonna take this shape right here, this lid, I'm gonna lay it here where it crosses over these two circles. So now I'm gonna take, this turquoise blue, and push that up. And I'm gonna go around it like this. But when I hit this other circle, I'm gonna stop. Just like that. And I'm gonna continue. And I'm gonna stop around there and I'm gonna go around. And I'm gonna thicken it up. And then when I lift this up, it looks like that. So you see, I stopped when I hit the blue one, and I stopped when I got to these, and that's what I got right there. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that one. Okay, then I'm going to do, a smaller one inside it. Right here, I'm gonna take red, and I'm gonna stop and start with that one.
Can you go over the smudges, but then have to stop on a circle line?
Yeah, I like to go over the smudges because they're nice and thin. But you know what? I want you to decide how you want it to look. So if you want to stop on those, that's up to you.
But if a smudge goes over a circle line, do you have to stop at the circle line?
Only if you want to. You can have it go over or you can have it go under. Or if you want to be, if you're more advanced or one of the older students and you want everything neat, here's another thing you can do. So I did this red here, but a little of it went over green and I don't want it to go over green. So I just scratch it with my fingernail and I get it off of there. And that's just one way of cleaning it up, like that. And if I want to touch up my green, put a little green back on there. Touch up my light blue right here. So far, I'm looking like that. Wow, we've got more circles to go. I haven't used the really small circle yet, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. I'm gonna put that right here, and I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go with dark blue around this. And I want this to be a solid circle. But I'm gonna make it look like it's I'm gonna have it go over the green. So all those are decisions you're gonna make while you're drawing. So it's like you didn't come up with a design before and then say, I'm sticking to my design. You're just creating it and making those decisions as you create. Okay, so I've got, so now I've got one looking like it's going over and one that's looking like it's going under. So I'm creating all these illusions, with foreground and background. Alrighty. So now, I don't know, I'm gonna add some more circles and some more smudges, and I just want you to take some time right now and just get creative and go for it. Okay, so let's see, what else can I do to mine? How about this circle just off to the side? Like this. Oh, I haven't used any yellow. Time for yellow. I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna do it again. Make my yellow look thicker. Oh, look at my yellow. It looks streaky. I like it. You can use your finger to smudge too. Okay, I like my yellow. Now I'm gonna do light green in the center. Right here. And I'm gonna make my light green a solid area. A pretty solid area here. So I love abstract art because you can look into it and you can see something different than maybe someone else looking at the same piece of art. So what do you see, Lily, when you look at this art? What do you think it reminds you of, or what does it look like it could be?
Like maybe chains interlocking.
Chains interlocking, ooh, I didn't think of that. I thought it looked like it could be like a planet or something. Like a...
I don't know.
Well, it's in the eye of the beholder.
Well,
Everybody can see something different.
I guess it could be whatever you want.
I like how here she has all these black rings, and they remind me of like old-fashioned vinyl records. So those, what I'm gonna do for those is I made a black circle, and now
can I have a black?
Sure, I'm gonna use this black and go over this. Okay, you want this one?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna fill it in black. But before I do that, I'm gonna put a color inside of it. I think I'm gonna put yellow. Try not to smear my black all up, because the black is the really powerful color that wants to smear, you know, it can overpower any other color when it gets mixed with it. Okay, so we've got that. Woo! Okay, and then I'm going to make one more with black. I'll do another one over here. Okay, are you done with the black?
1 second.
Okay. Gosh, I should have got extra blacks out of our thing. I haven't used brown at all. I'll do brown on this one. Whoop. Move that out a little.
Yeah, I'm done with the black now.
You are? Okay, awesome, because I want it. Okay, let me just fill in this. I'm gonna cover this whole thing. Oh my gosh, my circle got a little out of control. So I'm gonna touch it up a little. Sometimes I went way out of the stencil.
Can you add any more smears?
Sure, we're gonna do that at the end. Those were our under smears. After I get a few more things, I wanna add a whole bunch to the top. Okay, so we've got the black. I'm filling in this black area. Oh, that looks cool. I'm doing another black area because I really like how that turned out. Let's see, what's bigger? This? Ooh, I don't know if that's too big. Let's see if that was right over there. I'll go for it. So I'm going all the way over this one, like that. And then in between this one and this one, which, oh, I want to borrow that cap again when you're done. Then I'm going to color this one in black. She uses a lot of black and white in her paintings. So remember to make sure you always color all the way up to your tape, so that when we peel that tape off, it's gonna be this super clean line. Okay, are you done with that? I'm gonna borrow that again. Okay, oh, I went way past that, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it small and put it right here. And now I'm gonna go around this and clean it up. Okay, now my brown circle looks better. Kind of fixed it up. Okay, there you go. So I think I might almost have enough circles. I might do one solid black circle right here, or like a part of a circle. Okay, at this point I think I have plenty of circles. Lily, looking good. So the black really added some bold circles, don't you think?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So go ahead and add some more. And then I'm gonna give you a minute on that. Let's check on Lily. And then we're gonna do some smudgy spots, but this time they're gonna cross over other things. It's gonna look really cool. I didn't use that much blue. Maybe I'm gonna use some light blue again. That was a good color. Okay, try not to bump.
dark circles that you're doing.
Okay, try not to bump the table so much. Only because it's so close to our camera that it bounces the camera around. Okay. You got it. You can smudge that with the paper later if you want. So stay in that area, you've got it. So if you want to add some more black circles, Lily, go right ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and show the viewers at home how to add some more smudges. So like I was saying before, you can start in the middle or you can start off to the side. I'm gonna do one right here that's got a lot of red, and I'm gonna make it really thick this time. And I'm gonna add some blue, and I'm gonna make that really thick. And then I'm taking my smudging thing that I had from before, my folded up paper, and now I'm gonna smear it and make it go all the way across, like this.
And if your rolled up paper gets really dirty, you can just go grab another paper towel.
Yeah, or you can just re-roll it.
And make a new one.
So now, every time I went through a streak, like right here, started out blue and red, and then I ran into this blue, smudged it, then I ran into this green, smudged it, ran into the yellow, got yellow smudges. It's kind of like you're making this rainbow of smudges because you're just kind of driving your blending paper towel through it all, and you get that. So I'm gonna do a few more. Let's see, and then if you want to do this, like in here, just got all these smudges. If you want to do some blobs of color, like here there's a big red presence in here, or also in this one, she's got some blue areas, and you can see all these smudges going on right there, okay? So I think I'm gonna add some blue areas. So the areas can just be background space or negative space. That's the spaces in between the main objects. So let me take some blue and I'll show you what I mean. Unwrap this one on the end because we're really getting it used up. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this corner, and on the side of the smudges, I'm gonna go like this. And then I'm gonna go all in here. And I'm gonna go around these smudges. And I'm creating an area right here and here that I'm gonna fill in blue. So my whole background doesn't have to be white. Like that.
So now I'm gonna add my over smudges.
Go for your over smudges now. So I've got a blue area here. I'm gonna make blue the color that I like a lot. Like this one, she had red a lot. That one, she had kind of a gray color a lot. So now I'm gonna put blue in different areas of my background. Okay, there, and I'm gonna do a little more up here. See how I'm getting that? So far I've got 3 background blue areas there. Well, that's all part of one. And I've got one here, and I've got one in here, and I might add one more. Let me see. I'm gonna pretend like this blue area down here went underneath that smudge, which is like the rainbow waterfall. And I'm gonna go out here. Gosh, now I'm calling it a rainbow waterfall. And then these are all just like floating life rafts or something, inner tubes. But when I first looked at her work, I thought it reminded me of like planets and like comets going by. Her later works have more graphic objects in them, like letters and numbers and stars and things. But this was, when she first started, they were pretty much just these circular shapes, the smudges, the drips, and the colored areas. So I think I'll make a blob right in here, and then I think that's gonna be it for me. So let me see if I can create a little blob here that starts near that smudge. Oh, I didn't do any above smudges. I better do one of those. Okay, and then I'm gonna go from here to here, in here, and make it come like that. Be a little spot right here. So I've got that. And then I'm gonna have another smeared spot. I wanna go through that black somewhere because it's so intense. You know, I think I'm gonna go down in here. So I'm gonna make a smudge Oh, I think I'm gonna make an orange smudge right here. And I'm gonna go through black and see how that looks. Okay, what happened to my little thing? Oh, here it is. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm starting the orange and I'm gonna go through the black and come out like that. And through the orange, through the black. So that one came out through there. I don't know if I can get any colors to show up on top of black, but where else do I have a space? I don't want to cover the whole thing in smudges. I think I'm just gonna smear in some of my colors better. I feel like I have a lot of smudges. I've got like that area, that area, that area, and that area. I got 4 smudge areas. I've got some solid background areas. I've got all my circles, some are behind, some are in front, some are weaving in and out of others. And I think mine is pretty much done. Let's see how Lily's is looking. Looking good, Lily. Do you want any more small circles? Or are you good?
I might add one here, but I think I'm good.
That looks cool. You can also look at yours and say, gosh, do I have a big open space? Maybe I'll put something in it. Or maybe I'll put some background in it and it doesn't have to be a circle. Maybe it could be, you know, some smears. Maybe, you know, it could be any of these things I've taught you. So, let me move some things around here. All of our little stencils. This.
Okay, I think I'm adding
You think
one
good?
more circle.
Okay, add one more circle. And I'm gonna take my hands and before I peel off my tape, I know I'm gonna it's gonna be really hard to resist touching the clean white edges. So I'm gonna take my paper towel and wipe off my dirtiest fingers because they get really oily from the oil pastels. So just go ahead and wipe them all down if you can. And then I'm gonna start peeling off my tape. As I peel the tape, I try not to put my fingers on the edges unless it's on top of the tape, and I peel it away from the center like that. I've got one piece. And I'm going here, but I don't want to touch the edge because I want to keep it clean. So I'm just putting my hand in the middle and I'm peeling this piece and then this right here. Get my third side. That was good, Lily. I'll help you take your tape off in a sec. Okay. And then this. And if I have a lot of these crumbs of oil pastels, what I can do is pick them up with the sticky side of this tape. So they don't end up on the clean part of my artwork, which is that white edge.
I'm peeling off my tape.
Okay, Lily's peeling off her tape, and we'll do our final reveal. I hope you had fun doing this. I mean, this one's sort of like no stress. It's just, let's make some really cool shapes, add some colors. Let's just work with some materials and have kind of like some process art. Alrighty, and then this is a tricky one. All right, you ready for the reveal, the unveiling? Ta-da! So this is how ours turned out, and I'd love to see how yours turned out. So if you want to share how yours turned out with us, what can they do?
You can email us at kidsforkids.com and
Or post it.
or post it to Instagram and tag it with our Classes for Kids, and hopefully we'll see your photo.
Yeah, we'll give you a little response. So I hope you enjoyed the Fiona Rae abstract oil painting project. So we want you to keep doing what?
Keep
Making
making
cool
cool
art.
art.
If your class will be framing their artwork, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. If your class isn't framing your artwork, no worries. I'll just catch you on the next lesson. Now, what you're going to need to frame the artwork are a few supplies. You're going to need a cardboard backing that matches the size of the artwork that you are going to mount. you are going to need a glue stick, tape, your label, and a piece of cellophane. It might be rolled up or it might be flat. And you're going to need something to mount the artwork. Well, before I get started on mounting, I'm going to make sure that I have my label. That maybe you've already written your name and date, and maybe you haven't. If you haven't, get that name and date on there. It's really important to know when you made it, because you might have this thing for years, for decades. Your parents might frame it and stick it in their home, and they want to know, how old were you when you made that? And they can figure that out from the date. Or maybe you can be really successful and it's going to be worth millions of dollars one day. Who knows? I put a little glue on the back of that. You don't need tons of glue, just enough to stick it down. And then you're going to put it on the back. How do you know? Are you going to put it where the art's vertical or where it's horizontal? Well, you got to decide by what kind of art you have. I have a vertical piece, so I need my label to read vertically. And there it is. I flip it over, and now I'm going to make some tape loops. Well, this curly tape that I just took off, I can reuse because, you know, it's less trash in the earth. So what I do is I roll it the same direction and unrolled, and I make a tape loop. And I just press it down. Then I make another one. That's messy, but it's still gonna work. No one's gonna see it as long as the sticky side is out. I don't want it to hang over the edges because then it might show. I only need 4 of these, and I also press them down. I don't keep them in a puffy loop shape. So I have this big ball of tape. I just pull off some of it somewhere and then roll it up, press it down. So now I've got my 4 pieces of tape. I'm going to lay this on top and I'm going to match up the corners so it's flush with the board. Whoop, it's not over there, so I adjust it. And I push it down, but I don't touch the art because I don't want it to smear. It might be oil pastel, it might be chalk pastel, it might be something else that's smeary. So now I'm ready to wrap with cellophane. So I take my cellophane and I open up the roll if it's not a flat piece, and I don't want it to keep rolling up. So I'm going to flip it over so it doesn't roll up. Then I lay it out and I center this, or if it's a lot bigger, I can see that I have even amounts on each side, but this side I got a big piece. So I can just trim that. Don't over trim it, make sure it can fold over to the back. And now just remove that. And I'm going to start on one side. I'm going to fold over. It's kind of like wrapping a gift. And I need my tape handy. I might have a little tape that doesn't have a weight on it, and then I'm just keeping it really close to me. But what I'm doing is I'm going to rip it and whip it on the tape. Gonna rub that down. I go to the opposite side that I just taped. That's across from it. And I put my second piece of tape. Then I do the 2 sides. I fold it over, put 1 piece of tape there, go to the opposite side, right over here. Fold it over, get my tape on it. Now I do each of the corners. What I want to do is tuck in the cellophane so it doesn't show from the front. How I do that is I pinch this together, makes a little triangle, and then I fold this a few times and roll it down. And I can use 1 piece of tape, or if I need 2, I can always use 2. Then I turn this and I do the next corner. And I turn it again, and I pinch it, I fold it, I roll it until it's flat. Make my tape go across, and the last corner, I pinch it together, I fold it, I roll it, and I press down. And I check it out. It looks like it's nice and tight. Let's see what it looks like on this side. Oh, nice and tight. Now I can rub my hand on top of it and it doesn't smear. Ta-da! and this is how it turned out. So this is going to protect it. It makes a great presentation, and it makes me feel like my artwork is amazing. And also, your artwork is amazing. Everyone's is going to look different. No one's going to look exactly like mine, but it doesn't need to. I just want you to have fun making cool art, learning about new artists, and building some skills while I teach you a few new techniques. I hope you're having fun making cool art, and we'll see you at the next lesson.